So hello students, welcome back to the online lecture series for the subject RCC. The topic for today's online lecture will be analysis of singly reinforced section, or you can say it beam, by WSM. In previous lectures we have studied about the WSM method, the terms used in WSM. Now we will study about the analysis if a beam is given to you by WSM. Okay, let's start. So here I have drawn a cross section of beam whose width is small b and overall depth is small d and effective depth is small d, and this remaining depth d, capital D minus small d, is equal to the cover provided for the steel provided in tension. Okay, so before analyzing a beam we have to convert this section into a homogeneous section. You all know that the need of converting section into homogeneous to analyze the stress strain effects on that particular cross section. So we have transformed this section into an homogeneous section in which the steel in terms of concrete is termed as MAST. Okay, and this is the strain diagram, and here strain value for steel in tension is ES and concrete is EC, and as obey the Hooke's law it is proportional or linear, so the graph is linear. And the stress diagram for equivalent cross section is the maximum stress coming on concrete is sigma CBC. As you all know that sigma CBC is permissible stress in concrete in bending compression. Why we have taken bending compression? Because it is a beam. Okay, and in steel the maximum permissible stress is sigma ST by M. Here sigma ST is permissible stress in steel in tension. Okay, and the effective depth is small d. So this is an starting for the analysis part. First of all you have to make the cross section, then you have to convert that cross section into a homogeneous section, then strain diagram, and then stress diagram. Okay, for analysis part you have to do this much only. Now from this particular schematic diagram we have to calculate certain things which are mentioned below. First is the depth of neutral axis. So what is a neutral axis basically? So neutral axis is this line. It is an imaginary line which cuts the section into two parts, above which compression zone is there and below which tension zone is there, and in this particular neutral axis line there is no tension and no compression. Okay, so this is neutral axis. Second one is critical neutral axis. So critical neutral axis is basically the neutral axis for balance section. Okay, so in critical neutral axis is the depth which we get when both the materials, that is concrete and steel, reaches its permissible values at same time. Okay, so here is zero compression, here is zero tension. Now concrete has maximum permissible stress of sigma CBC till here, and steel is having maximum permissible value for transform section equal to sigma ST by M till here. So after joining this we will get this depth as critical neutral axis, which is denoted by N suffix C. Okay, and the actual depth of neutral axis or depth of neutral axis is denoted by N, and in some books it is denoted by NA also. Okay, so how will we calculate the critical depth of neutral axis? So it can be calculated very easily. Basically it is calculated by using the similar triangle property in the stress diagram. So you must have been knowing that what is similar triangle property. Base upon this perpendicular will be equal to this base upon perpendicular. Okay, these are two similar triangles. Here we will equate them both. So first of all the upper triangle sigma CBC by this depth is NC, critical neutral axis, which we have to calculate or find out. Now the another triangle we will equate this sigma ST by M whole upon this remaining depth is, now this total depth is small d and this from top to the neutral axis is NC, so the remaining will be D minus NC. So sigma ST upon M whole upon D minus NC. Okay, now we will simplify it because we have to find out this NC value. We will simplify it using these steps. Okay, you can skip also, but when the question comes for derivation you have to show all these steps. Okay, so sigma CBC D minus NC, we have simply cross multiplied this equal to sigma ST upon M into NC. Now sigma CBC into D we have multiplied in the bracket. Sigma CBC D minus NC into sigma CBC is equal to sigma ST upon M into NC. Okay, now we have moved all the common terms here. So sigma CBC D equal to NC, because NC in common here, NC into sigma CBC plus sigma ST upon M, and now NC becomes sigma CBC into D whole upon sigma CBC plus sigma ST by M. By solving it further we get NC equal to M sigma CBC whole upon M sigma CBC plus sigma ST into D. Okay, you can also remember this term as MC upon T plus MC into D. Okay, so here M is modular ratio, C stands for compressive permissible stress, which is sigma CBC, T is tensile stress, which is sigma ST, M is again modular ratio, and C is sigma CBC. So you can easily remember by this. Okay, so here this whole term M sigma CBC upon M sigma CBC plus sigma ST is denoted as K. K is neutral axis depth factor. Okay, so this whole term is constant for certain grade, as grade is given to you M20 for concrete and Fe 250 for steel. So this whole term becomes constant for these two values. Okay, so it is termed as the neutral axis depth coefficient or factor, you can say it. Okay, so by putting this whole term as K, we get NC equal to KD. Okay, now there is a short or small example, so from this you can understand it better, that if maximum permissible stress in steel is 140 Newton per mm square, and then what will be the depth of critical neutral axis, okay, in a singly beam having effective depth as small d. Okay, so here the value of sigma ST is given to you. Okay, is asking for NC value. Okay, so what have to do? The formula you all know that NC is M sigma CBC whole upon M sigma CBC plus sigma ST whole multiplied by small d. So according to IS code, you know that M modular ratio can be calculated by using the formula 280 by 3 into sigma CBC. Here sigma CBC is not known to you. Okay, so M sigma CBC becomes 280 by 3, so M sigma CBC comes out to be 93.33. Sigma ST is given to you in the question, it is 140 Newton per mm square. So by putting this value you get NC equal to 0.40 D. So the correct option is B. So this is a very short example, you can easily understand it by putting the formula only. Okay, and there is another example here. The depth of critical neutral axis depend upon. Okay, it depends upon so many factors. First is grade of concrete only. It depends on grade of concrete, but not only. It depends on another also. Grade of steel only, both A and B, and none of these. So it depends upon both A and B because it depends on grade of steel, that is ST, sigma ST and sigma CBC. Okay, so here is a table for sigma ST value. So if you are using these three grades, Fe 250, Fe 415 and Fe 500. So if these values or these grades are given to you in the question, so how will you determine the value of sigma ST? Okay, for Fe 250, the sigma ST value depends upon the diameter of the bar which is used in the question. Okay, if phi is the diameter of the bar, if phi is less than equal to 20 m for Fe 250, sigma ST value will be 140 Newton per mm square, and if diameter is greater than 20 mm, the sigma ST value for Fe 250 will be 130 Newton per mm square. So for 250, Fe 250, you have to first check what is the diameter of the bar used, then you will put the sigma ST value from this table. Okay, and for 415 and Fe 500, the values is only single. For Fe 415 it is 230 Newton per mm square, and Fe 500 it is 275 Newton per mm square. Okay, so for Fe 415 and Fe 500 you don't have to look for the diameter, you can directly write down the sigma ST value as 230 and 275. Okay, so after this, how will you calculate the depth of actual neutral axis, which is noted by NA? Okay, so what is actual neutral axis? It is a depth where the section cuts when either one of the permissible values are known to you. Okay, so for under reinforced section or over reinforced section, it is known as depth of actual neutral axis. For balance section, the depth will be known as critical depth. Okay, so it is calculated by taking moment of area about neutral axis in equivalent cross section area. So we have to take the moment of area from the equivalent cross section. So equivalent cross section I have drawn here, which is having a depth from top to the neutral axis NA, actual depth. Okay, and the remaining depth from neutral axis to the CG or center of gravity of steel will be D minus NA. Okay, So by putting the formula for moment of area, ठीक है, on both sides of neutral axis we get A1 x1 bar, this total area A1 x1 bar equal to A2 x2 bar, A2 x2 bar. So area above neutral axis is for concrete, so it is a square there. Okay, so its area is B into Na, B into Na into XA by 2. So the CG for the top section will be by Na by 2. Okay, so B into XA into Na by 2 equal to below the neutral axis, that is tensile zone. The area will consider only for steel because here tensile zone is here and tensile only steel is working. Okay, so the area is MAST because it is a transform section and the distance from its CG to neutral axis is D minus XA. Okay, so D minus XA, by solving this we get B into XA square by 2 equal to MAST D minus XA. Okay, so this is the formula for calculating XA or actual depth. Okay, so you will get a quadratic equation there and you will then find out the values for XA. Okay, whichever is positive or greater you will take that value. Okay, now thing here is lever arm. Okay, it is an important term which will be used. Lever arm, basically it is the distance between resultant compressive force and resultant tensile force. Okay, so the resultant tensile force will act at the CG of steel, and if we are taking stress diagram or strain diagram, the steel is placed at its CG, so the resultant force will be at CG only, which is directly comes out. Okay, but for concrete it is total area, but the stress diagram is in triangle, so you all know that the resultant force will act XA by 3 from the top. Okay, so for triangle the resultant force will lie at XA by 3 distance from the top, so it is there. So as per the definition, lever arm is the distance between resultant compressive force and the resultant tensile force. Okay, so this will be the distance for it. It is lever arm, so this lever arm will be, this total distance is D, so D minus this portion. Okay, D minus Na by 3. So the lever arm depth or lever arm comes out to be D minus Na by 3. Okay, so after this, for balance section means whose actual depth is equal to the critical depth, so Na is equal to Nc because both are same in this case, so Z becomes D minus Xc by 3. You can write as Xa here because both are same, so D minus Kd by 3 because Nc can be written as Kd, so taking D common we get 1 minus K by 3 into D. Okay, so this whole term is constant, this is constant, this is constant, K value is constant if the grade of concrete and steel is fixed, so it becomes Z equal to JD. Okay, where J is 1 minus K by 3 into D, and it is also known as lever arm depth factor. Okay, after this we have to calculate the moment of resistance, which is denoted by M dot O dot R, or you can simply write it as MR. Basically, moment of resistance is the resistance offered by a section against the bending moment is known as MOR. So basically you can write MR is the maximum value of bending moment, means the value that can resist the maximum bending is known as moment of resistance. It is coming from the name only that it is moment of resistance. So MOR or moment of resistance is equal to force into lever arm. So there are two forces we are taking this, there are two forces, one is compressive force and another is tensile force, so you have to calculate on both sides. Okay, so from compression side the MOR becomes compressive force into lever arm is same for both sides. Okay, because it is common, so compressive force into lever arm, compressive force is basically average stress into area, because as per the definition you know that force is stress into area. Okay, so here stress is average stress because we are taking average value here, so average stress into area into lever arm. Average stress become, if we are taking only for compression side, so here the value of stress is 0 and here is maximum, so we will take the average, so 0 plus this value is sigma CBC, 0 plus sigma CBC by 2 into area for this term will be taken from the section, so it is B into Na, and lever arm is same, T minus Na by 3. So the MR from compression side will be calculated by 1 by 2 sigma CBC into B minus NA, B into NA into D minus NA by 3. So this value is average stress, this is area, and this is lever arm. Similarly, in tensile side, the MOR will be calculated by tensile force into lever arm. So tensile force is stress. Why we are not taking average stress? Because in the case of steel, it is already taken at the CG. So the average value is there. So stress into area into lever arm. Stress value for the transform section is sigma ST by M. Area is MAST and lever arm is same. D minus NA by 3, so M and M becomes cancel out, so the MR value is sigma ST AST into D minus XS. So here sigma ST is stress, AST is area, and this is lever arm. Okay, so that's all for today. Take care, be safe.